Day 1, or should I say day 0. This is my first time playing on 1.19. You'll see I play with some mods, so I actually had to preload the world to make sure they worked in this version. This villager tried to freeze himself to death. I was able to save him. The rest of the village is on fire. Maybe this is why he's running for the snow. Spawn was up pretty high for my liking, so I made some tools, got some bread, found a pillager outpost, then went to bed, not trying to be a hero the first night. It's officially day 1 now, so Spawn Village is kinda sandwiched between these two outposts, and there's ice. This is a pretty good spawn. I thought about going over there, then decided not to. I don't even have armor. I found what looks like a nice forest area. I made a very basic house for the second night. Don't want any issues early on. By the morning of day 2, I had mine down to iron level. I need some iron early on, and I hate actually using iron until I have a farm set up. Used ladders to get back to my house. Got a lot of trees to chop down, but first I actually had to make a door. See, I've got big goals for this world and the first 100 days. This first video, I mainly want to make sure I get a full set of enchanted tools and gear and beat the Ender Dragon. Normally, I'd fight the Ender Dragon well past day 100 because I'll AFK for iron or at a mob farm, but I'm not going to AFK at all this world. This is new for me. We'll see. More chopping trees on day 3 and lighting up the surrounding area. It might speak for itself, but the numbers on the ground are the block light level. My pet peeve in Minecraft videos are when the player does not light up the area and mobs are just spawning left and right. I'm not going to let that happen here. At night, I made my way to a nearby village. I got some iron, armor, and the blacksmith was nice enough to give me some free furnaces and a stone cutter. Then I shared this bed. On day 4, I had to Google if I can break a brewing stand with the stone pickaxe. You can, so I did. I need to take some villagers home, and I'm trying to figure out which village is going to be best for this. I completely ignored this water for some reason. So we'll call this High Village, that's Low Village. In the future, I do realize this water right here connects both straight to my house. Could have saved a ton of time if I caught this on day 4. I want my house to look kind of good, by my standards, and I've been chopping trees, I've got plenty of wood, time to make a better house. Construction extended into the night. This is pretty dangerous. I've always thought using the wood itself here instead of planks is wasteful, but everyone else is doing it, so I guess I will too. I want the walls to have some texture, so I tried just using fences. Looks okay, I can see through it, but mobs can't get me. The short walls, I use this stair pattern. Same deal, I'm safe, I can see through it. It's not just dirt or oak planks. This is already way better than any starter house I've ever made. I ran out of birch for my floor, so back to chopping and lighting up the area. I want to expand, I don't want creepers on my land. This is early work you gotta do in any Minecraft world. It took so long to get to bedrock, it's already morning of day 7, so I went up and labeled my chests, trying to be a little organized. After that, more chopping, more flattening, more lighting. This area isn't that flat, so I need to do some work to get it ready for everything I want to do here. Gotta say, I love this little game of hide and seek with the missing oak log. We played this a lot this world. I could cut this out, but I want you to watch. So I had this grand idea of cutting down all the trees between my base and the low village. Ended up being a terrible idea. I'm glad I didn't waste too much time on it. I wanted to be productive on day 9, so I started prepping this area for a simple iron farm at the low village. I did the math. I think it'll be loaded from my house. I ran home to get some materials, made it back, and had the farm finished the next day. Good timing, now I can get the villagers in and trap a zombie. I finally was able to get a zombie away from the other mobs. Just make this little one wide hallway, open the trap doors, and we're done. Already works. The first night I just kind of ran around waiting for morning. Definitely not AFKing. I wanted to make some tools, armor, and have some iron to take home with me. Now that I'm not completely broke, I think it's time to get some sand. Glass is a status symbol, and eventually I'll use all of this. I started digging out a basement area. Basements are great. I've always wanted one, and now I have one. More chopping on day 13. This corner here is decently flat and close to the water. I think this is a good spot for some early game farming. Instead of putting deep slate tiles on the floor, I moved them up to the walls. I really like deep slate tiles. You'll see me use this a lot. Day 15, I planted my first crop. All that weed I was able to borrow from the village at spawn really did last me a long time. It's not much, but every farm starts somewhere. It took all day, and it was boring, but I trapped some cows and sheep on day 16. The cow farm is a great way to get leather for books, and as an adult male, I love steak. Day 17 was all about exploring. I found a shipwreck with a buried treasure map. These buried treasures are awesome. Just look at that. More buried treasure. Almost drowned getting this one. This is pretty dangerous. That night I found a jungle biome, and all I can remember is watching these baby turtles get absolutely slaughtered. And like most people, I froze. I'm too scared to jump in and help. It was this moment I realized I could just boat villagers down this hill and back to my camp. If I want a trading hall, I've got to get a breeder going at my base sooner than later. By the next day, I was able to get both villagers safely to my base. You can pretty much do everything in Minecraft without the trading hall, but having employees makes this so much easier. Here goes the village breeder. It's Logicalgeekboy's design, and in my opinion, it's the best. It's automatic, and it keeps the babies separate until they grow up. It makes 2 villagers a day, which is plenty. Work with villagers, they said. It makes Minecraft easier, they said. Don't bring this dirty stuff onto my land. The lease says no wheat. I just can't get enough of these deep slate tiles. I took a little time to make the outside of my house look a little better now. Now I have a porch. This isn't so bad. I even used leaves. Am I pro yet? I finished out the day getting some sand. Don't really know why. Was just looking for something to do while I waited for the breeder to start working. I was fortunate enough to find some dripstone on day 23. This is how I'm going to end up getting to the nether. So the plan is to make a drip... First, watch me almost die! This is probably the most dangerous thing I did in these 100 days. I was able to do a full sugarcane harvest on day 24. It's amazing what happens when you start farming before you actually need the stuff. You know, if you're proactive enough, you almost never have to actually work hard in life. It happened! It finally happened! We now have a small dripstone farm and the start of a lava farm. Of course these are deep slate tiles. Why would you use anything else? If you guessed, I made the same Ianxofour iron farm as before, just right by my house, you're right. No way would I be able to get all this other stuff done if I actually mined for resources. I chopped down and replanted trees. I'm trying to get beehives. Not sure why, but I think they're nice to have. I also need to wait for my 3rd villager to grow up before I can move him to the iron farm. Hey, where you going? Your bed's right here. Alright, here goes nothing. It works! The best kind of build in hardcore Minecraft has 2 features, functional and ugly. My starter trading hall will be both. I made my first villager a farmer that buys carrots and potatoes. I think most of us probably would. Day 29, I set up another farmer, a fletcher, and a cartographer. Need someone to buy all this paper. Day 30 was mostly just chores. I did set up more cartographers and planted more birch trees. Day 31, I made a toolsmith because he'll buy iron, and I've mined exactly 0 diamonds so far. Don't need to. I'm at the top of this pyramid scheme. Sorry, multi-level marketing. Got the first guy maxed out and set up another toolsmith today. I got a diamond axe, shovel, hoe, and pickaxe. Great day. On to armor for day 32. I'm pretty diversified in my investments. Plenty of ways to get emeralds. The goal is to not do anything dangerous until I have a full set of armor. This is why I make the lava farm. Now that I have a diamond pickaxe, I can mine obsidian, and it gets me to the nether. It's painful. I won't make you watch. Glad I have these numbers on the ground. Definitely not safe. I started on my librarians. I don't need every book, just the ones that will be useful for the inner dragon fight. Today I got Mending and Silk Touch. Sweeping Edge 3. Unbreaking 3 for day 34. We're moving right along. I took a break from breaking lecterns and added a player killing chamber to the iron farm. This works great. Back to breaking lecterns. Got Thorns 3. Just kidding. I got Looting 3. Sharpness 4 for 16. It's fine. 600 lecterns later, we finally got efficiency 5 for 26. And after breaking lecterns all night and all morning, this protection 3 book felt like finding diamonds. Villager trading is really good XP. I don't mind combining books. Day 38 was more chores. I harvested crops and got more obsidian. Starting to psych myself up to go to the nether. Please not Basalt Delta. Please not Basalt Delta. This is terrible. There is a fortress south over here. I started to bridge over to it. This is definitely not safe, so I went home. More chores and trading on day 40. Slowly but surely getting my gear and tools enchanted. I've also upgraded to golden carrots. Glad I cooked all that steak and just never used it. The next morning I started gathering more sand for glass. I want to build a raid farm. I refuse to do anything dangerous until I have totems. So I ventured out at night. I need strength for the raid farm. With some decent armor and a looting 3 sword, this wasn't bad at all. The morning of day 42, I was ready to enchant my helmet. It's pretty basic for now. We'll add more stuff later. I get this method is pretty overpowered, but I've actually never used an enchanting table before, and I don't even have any diamonds, so I can't make one. Kind of going back and forth now on whether or not to build the raid farm. I'm nowhere near an ocean. It's going to take some time to find a spot to build it. For now, I'll just trade some glass I've been smelting. Always need more emeralds, and it's great XP. More trading on day 44. Having only 4 cartographers is definitely a problem that I'll never fix. Day 45, I got more of a legitimate bee breeder. You can load bees into beehives pretty easy with this contraption. Against my better judgment, I'm going to bridge over to this fortress. Don't have any other real option of getting over there. I figured this will take a few stacks of slabs. I'm using bottom slabs, so it's pretty safe. Want to see how bad I am at shooting ghasts? So this is a very basic fortress. No nether wart, which was a letdown, but the other blaze spawner is in a pretty ideal spot, so I killed blazes for a few minutes before heading back. I almost died twice doing this. I'm not sure how speedrunners manage to do this naked. Day 47, I made the decision to actually build the raid farm, so I need to explore and find a good spot. I didn't find it today, but I did get a bunch of ice and did some ice boat surfing. I ended up going back home at night to drop off some of the goodies I found. More exploring on day 48. By midnight, I found a good spot. It's safe to build the raid farm if you turn your render distance down to 6 chunks, look all around, and only see water. If I was really smart, I would have made an ender chest and brought everything with me, but I didn't. I did bring some glass though, so at least some of that's out of the way. Rather than run all the way back home, I made a portal with a lava pool about halfway there. This should make it easier to get back here next time. And I have had to Google how to do this every time I've made one of these. I made sure I had everything I need for this build in the ender chest. This is very exciting. Set up a second portal on the opposite side of my base from the other portal. This one's going to be for the roof. Portal linking should be an easy thing, and it is. Until it isn't. Yay. Before I make the raid farm, I'm going to be proactive and make a roof portal to the raid farm, so it'll be really quick to get back and forth. Guess that lava pool portal I'm very proud of is only getting used one more time. Let's just grab this villager real quick. There we go, villager is in. He's happy and safe. Just ask him. This is pretty boring footage. Just following this schematic, a lot of glass, a lot of jumping down and going back up. I'll make this short and sweet. This is Logicalgeekboy's design, by the way. Very underrated channel. I made his breeder too. By the end of day 54, I was basically done with the farm. The redstone up top is pretty easy. This lava will kill any ravagers that spawn. The last thing I need to do before I can run the farm is get Bad Omen. And without an elytra, the closest outpost is too far. Luckily, there was a patrol in this nearby birch forest. And finally, it's raid time. Oh, the XP. I did raids the rest of the day until some reason I got Hero of the Village and then Bad Omen, and the next raid didn't start. Oh well, I've got plenty of emeralds and totems, so I can go home now. Day 56, I took advantage of my hero status to do a little bit of trading, and I got myself a Respiration 3 Librarian set up. Also got a Feather Falling 4 Librarian, So the boots from the armor smith came with feather falling 4, but it had projectile protection. It worked fine early on, but now I want regular protection. Day 57 was all about organizing my ender chest for the Ender Dragon fight. I was really worried 100 days wasn't going to be enough time to get there, but tomorrow we're searching for the stronghold. Alright, let's go. Great start. At least I know it's east. Take 2. Fantastic. I'm not really good with triangulation, and I don't use one of those calculators, so this might take a while. Glad I have plenty of pearls. The morning of day 59, I think I'm close. I found an igloo with a basement. Never found one of these before. I stole the golden apple and the potion, then I left. After several more eye throws, I'm pretty sure I found the stronghold. Time to dig straight down and hope for the best. I am definitely not great with stronghold navigation. I think the portal is supposed to be pretty close to the main staircase, but how do I find that? So this stronghold generated right in the middle of a ravine. The portal ended up being on the right over there. You can tell I've been searching for a while. I actually found my first diamond. Finally, by the night of day 59, I found the end portal. The first thing I did, and the first thing you should do, is make a portal in this room, write down the coordinates, and immediately go back home to make a connecting portal. I didn't Google it this time, and I definitely should have. I wasted a lot of time here. I even brought my own obsidian. By midday of day 60, I made it home, cleared out some of my inventory, and went up to the roof to make a portal there. This should take me right back to the end portal room. I've beaten the Ender Dragon plenty of times, but I always get nervous. Here's more footage of me being bad with the bow. By the morning of day 61, I did it. This is exciting. All sorts of possibilities for the rest of these 100 days with killing the Ender Dragon this early. Of course I got the dragon egg. No time to waste, we're going in raiding. We got to get an elytra, some shulker shells, and there's great loot. Didn't take too long, found my first end city, and it has a ship. This was incredibly dangerous. I should not have done this. Well, this is awkward. Luckily, this nearby end city has a full ship. No time to mess around, bridge straight up to it. Not gonna lie, since I've known mods existed, I've always played with drag and drops elytra. I thought about doing that here, but I didn't, and for the first time ever, I actually had to go exploring for the elytra. This feels really good. Oh, flying is so much better than walking. I found another end city with a ship just to get a backup elytra, and the loot is awesome. By that night, I was kind of over it, and raiding. I topped off the trip by getting some obsidian. The old lava farm obsidian method is just beneath me now. Later that day, I decided it was time to expand my storage. I didn't even really want my storage to be here, but here we are. Day 64, I went to the nether. I've got a full set of diamond tools, gear, elytra, shulker boxes. I'm a rich man now, but I could be richer. Time to go netherite mining. I guess I didn't realize the vanilla tweaks I downloaded would make ancient debris look like this. I thought I was just mining regular nether gold here. I don't know how I feel about this. By the end of day 64, I was up to 8 ancient debris. That's not great, but not terrible. Ideally, you want 28 so you can upgrade your tools and gear. Of course, having 2 netherite hose is important, but not this early. I ran into a lot of lava issues on day 65, and I had to switch to my second of 2 picks. Ended the day with 14 ancient debris, halfway there. By the end of day 66, I got up to 24 ancient debris, had low durability on my pickaxe, and decided to head back. I guess no netherite axe for me. Unfortunately, I have no fire resistance potions. Took some time, but I was able to very carefully dig my way up. Hearing the piglins was a good sign. Watching this stuff smelt was the best 2 minutes of this entire 100 days. It's so beautiful. More chopping and more lighting the rest of day 68, and with netherite armor and plenty of totems, I'm starting to feel kind of safe around here. That night I went to get Bad Omen. I have no gunpowder for rockets, I really need to repair my tools, and I could always use more emeralds. Time to do some raids. Yeah, it's kind of a pain to manage all these drops. It is worth it to build a sorting system for this, maybe the next 100 days. By the morning of day 70, I decided to go home. Not a bad haul for a day and a half of raiding. It's long overdue. I need Fortune 3. I'll settle for Fortune 2 and combine them. It's fine. These giant oak trees are just great. Thanks for this. The world would be so much worse without them. No, I'll wait. The morning of day 72, I'm ready to start fixing up this area a little bit. I don't really use this door, and if you remember, it was actually my first door, so I'm a little sentimental about it. See, I've got big plans for this island, and I'm hoping to someday use the whole thing. I'm not saying it all needs to be completely flat like one Y level, but a good mix between flat and natural is what I'm looking for. I'm already making a more dirt chest. I wish it stopped there, but it doesn't. Grass looks way better than stone. Maybe someday these will even be path blocks. You never know. Fun fact, mowing down nether quartz is a great way to repair tools, but I gotta figure out something better for XP. I flew around to get a good idea of the scale of this area. The hill I'm working on now is definitely going to take some time, but after that it looks pretty flat. Just a million trees to chop down. And here I realized maybe this is too big of a project to complete, at least without beacons. Sorry to spoil, no beacons in this video. I think about it later on, but then I run out of time. Overnight, I made a poor man's Enderman farm, just trying to think of different ways to get XP and repair my tools. It's kind of slow, but it's safe. I didn't stay long, went home and planted some dark oak saplings I found. I didn't show you that, but I'm showing you this because this is more interesting. I haven't done anything dangerous in a while. Here I'm taking on not one, but two mobs at the same time. I didn't even back up for the explosion. The plan is to build a mob farm over this water, mainly for bones and gunpowder, and you're going to watch me make a storage system for this that's completely overkill for a farm I can't AFK at. But, you know, put down extra chests, one less thing to worry about. By the night of day 78, I was putting in the killing chamber. And the water to flush them to that killing chamber. Once you're ready to work on the layers of the farm, it's pretty downhill from there. By the next night, I was all the way up and working on the roof. It took one day to make the layers. More roof. More roof. Big redstone clock. Now just a bunch of water buckets, and we're good to go. I tried to make this one quick time lapse, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Maybe next time. It's not pretty. At least it's a little ways out over the water and won't interfere with anything else. Any gunpowder I get from this is a win. That night I started flattening out this back corner over here. I have an idea. This is my third dirt chest. When will it end? So having a mob farm here does give me a good vantage point of my land. I can use this to get some perspective from day to day of what progress I'm making. Nobody said you had to just clear land to expand your base. Sometimes you can just place dirt. This terrain looks so good. Today I went and got about a shulker box full of sand. I've got another project coming up. Don't hate me, it's another farm. This is my world and I like building them. If you guessed a bigger iron farm, you're right. If we are ever going to get full beacon coverage for this island, we need a way to power those beacons. By nightfall, I was already working my way up to the spawn platforms for the golems. Haven't seen these deep slate tiles in a while. Man, I just love these blocks. This farm isn't that bad to build once you've done it a few times. The next day it was raining and there were phantoms, which I hate, so I started digging down under each spawn platform to connect these up for storage. So it seems like there's kind of a lot going on underground here, so I have the golems just die with lava above these signs, and then the drops move through the water streams of all 4 stations, work their way to one area that will send the drops up to the surface with no hoppers, droppers, or redstone though, which is nice. The next morning I tried to fly out through some lava I'd already placed. Bad idea, this did not work. Fortunately, I was able to get this zombie track placed and good to go. Just a few steps left and this is done. It's really important to just set up one station at a time. If these villagers don't claim the right bed, the farm doesn't work and it's a big hassle to fix. Villager 1 in, and 2 and 3 in. Station 2 villagers in. Station 3 villager not in. Okay, nobody walked. Okay, there we go. Station 3 all done. Station 4 all good. This whole thing might look familiar. Let's try and get this zombie in before the sun comes up. It actually picked up a torch, but I named them anyway. I think also if they're in a minecart that they don't despawn, but I don't want to risk it. Luckily, by nighttime, I had the rail set up to get Chad in the farm. If I did this right, the minecart should go down, pick him up, and come right back here into the farm. We're going to sit here for a minute. Look at this go. Now, sometimes the timing does get off if the golem takes too long to get to the drop chute. It's not uncommon for a pod to skip a lap, but all in all, this is a great farm, and I'm glad I was able to build it in this video. Only took me 6 days from start to finish. Any minute, we're going to see some iron and poppies come up. This is rough, so I messed up here. Moment of truth, I think we're good to go now. That could have been a nightmare. Sometimes, when I don't know what to do next, I just come over here and watch. It's not unethical at all. They want this to happen. It's an honor for them. That night, I started turning my basement into a map room. It sounds presumptuous, but I plan on not dying. I've never made a map before, and I think it's a great way to show the progress of this land, given all the plans I have. I can't believe I'm back to shoveling on day 91. You know, the shoveling I don't mind, it's removing the stone that gets to be a real pain. The problem with never sleeping is there are always phantoms. Am I good with the bow now? Here's a little land update for you. Got some lily pads from this wandering trader, and then I definitely didn't kill him. Now that I have unlimited iron, like for real now, I can just use this to repair my gear. I should have done this sooner. And if you really want to get crazy, you can make a stacking raid farm and have like 40 clerics just buying everything from them, but that takes a lot of time and it's boring. Another nice land update here, starting to get pretty tired of mining stone without a beacon. Getting tired of digging too. I mean, what do I want? The last 10 days to just be digging? So I flew around the mob farm a little bit just to get the spawns going, and I wanted a good look at the surrounding area. Oh yeah, look at all those. There, we're getting there. Time to explore. Want to find a desert? I like desert temples, I like sand, want to get some cactus. And that sound isn't the wind from flying with the elytra, that's my computer fans. Those big boys are going. Didn't find a desert, but I did get a couple more ships and another buried treasure. This is my 4th heart of the sea. Conduit power is the best power. Made it back home the morning of day 95, and these bees are bugged, I guess. This does make me really sad, but bees don't protect you from phantoms, so they gotta go. I don't remember the last time I farmed. I could look back, but I don't want to. I think eventually I'll have some sort of auto wheat farm, like with the allays, but for now, just using my bare hands. I'm so glad I put this double chest here for minecarts, and then just never made enough minecarts to justify it. I probably never will. I've decided you're free to go, though. Just kidding. You're going to be my next cleric. Sell redstone, please. Starting to get some of the materials ready for an eventual wither skeleton farm, I refuse to dig any more stone until I have a beacon, so that hill is future Robert's problem. Back to the inn for more obsidian, not just for the future wither skeleton farm that future Robert will build, but also for some other projects. Spent the whole day here just mining obsidian. It's way better than mining stone. Okay, now I'm tired of mining obsidian. And you know, for someone who enjoys Minecraft as much as I do, I really don't like mining. Is that a problem? Oh well. Time to make my first map ever. I assumed it would take a while to make all 4 maps. Kinda thought it would almost take me all the way to day 100. That was easy. Maybe it's a render distance thing, or I've explored the area already. I don't know. Okay, literally a few minutes after I started the first map, this was done. Well, now what? Chopping trees on day 98. These trees are on the day 100 map, but they're gone from the world now. I can live with that. Can you? That night, I just looked at the map. Thought back to the beginning of this world and how far it's come. The goal of this world is to farm every item in the game, have a storage system that holds and sorts every stackable item, and just try to make my builds a little more interesting. The map should get bigger. I want more houses. I don't want any villagers just trapped in a 1x1 box. I truly want to transform this area into something good. If you want to see where this goes, leave a like, leave a comment on what you'd like to see in the next 100 days. I'll do my best to make it happen. Anyway, back to the action. That night I took out some of those terrible ladders and got a bubble column set up for the mine at iron level and then down at bedrock. I don't go down there that often, and maybe the ladder climb back up is why. Probably not, but we'll see. At least now if I come back down here, I'll be able to get right back up very quickly. Then I shoveled dirt well into day 99. Again, this is all stuff I thought I was not going to have time to do after making the map, so just kind of winging it. Day 100. Started working on the south side of my base. I don't like that this was just blocking my view of the lake over there, so it's got to go. I'm not mining stone. They call this hardscaping. This is literally a race against the clock. We're going to finish this out with just a good view of the base. If you never sleep, you can actually get a lot more done in 100 days than you think. I'm really proud of where this is at. I'm super excited for where it's going to go. Thank you all for watching.